So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Got something really interesting to show you right across the street. So this is a massive white oak. This is the biggest white oak I've ever seen or heard of. It's right across the road from our house. And Jordan Miller, he's been in our videos before. They're doing a little maintenance on this tree. They're taking out some dead limbs that are hanging out over the road. But this thing gotta be 350 years old. It is just massive. They've got flaggers down the road. There's a guy up in the tree right now, and Jordan's just over there getting a broom. They're gonna take a few more limbs down. This road that we live on is called Washington's Trail because old GW years ago cruised through here, and I'm willing to bet that tree was right there when he came through. I don't know if you can see his guy hanging up there from a rope. Oh, that's slick. He's got a little broom there on the Avant. Just grabbed it with the grapple, clean off the road.
It's hollow, and then that prong fits up into this chamber to secure it with the grapple.
And this is a branch manager.
Yep, branch manager. Forget if this is called a broom or a rake, and it's I think it's like 2,900 tines.
Yeah, they're metal. You can't tell looking at them, but they're metal.
A little rusty, but it does the job.
You move some wood with this Avant, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah, and this I actually didn't realize it until recently. This has a float on it, so if you put this on here and hit the ground with it, it'll level. So if you're in somebody's yard, you can just put the float on and it'll shape to the contour of the land. It's pretty sweet.
So we're talking about this tree, definitely over 300 years, gotta be.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think the conventional wisdom is that every 12 inches of diameter for a white oak in diameter is about 100 years of growth. So, you know, I would say it's more than 300 years old, but there are some factors such as how much water it's getting and you know, placement. But the fact that it's by the road too, and it did so well over time, makes me think that it's probably pretty dang old.
Yeah, and you're just pruning some of the dead stuff off of it.
Yep, we're just getting a little bit of dead wood out of the road. Homeowner was concerned about some dead branches hanging over the street. So they're really crispy ones, so we're not doing any live wood cuts because of oak wilt. Still a little early in the season to do any live wood pruning. So
oak wilt spreads from a live wound on a tree in the summertime. Is that right?
Yep. For a lack of a better word, the nitulid beetles can smell a fresh cut on a tree, and then they are drawn to that cut. They bore into the wood, and then they have the oak wilt fungus on them.
And then they infect that tree.
Right.
Okay. All right, well, I'll let you get back at it. You got a lot going on. Thanks, Jordan. I mentioned before, Levi has a nursery where he grows trees, mostly native, and he got a bunch of acorns from that white oak over there. He asked the neighbor. She said absolutely, because it's probably pretty good genetics for that tree to live that long. So a lot of his white oaks that he's growing came from that big one across the street. You don't want to prune your oaks until it gets cold, at least colder than it is now, and then you reduce the risk of oak wilt. All right, it is first thing in the morning, and I've got a load of siding coming for the new building. I can hear them now. I mean, it's not siding yet, but it will be. so Bill just pulled out, but that is a nice load of white pine right there. And you know, I was thinking I'm going to need like 14 footers for siding for the building. Some of these 30 footers should work out perfectly. I'll be able to get 2 logs out of each one. All right, I'm about to do something that I did not want to do, at least right now, but I have to. This big oak tree right here, it's got to come down. And I don't know. I just thought maybe over winter, when I clear the rest of the trees, I could do this one, but it's got to go. It's going to take a little bit of time here. I have found I usually use the rake for smaller trees because you can kind of you can leave some dirt and you can just take, you know, bust through the roots with it. But for these bigger ones, you just have to dig all the way around it. There's no way around doing it. And I had the 30-inch bucket on, and I thought the 18 would work much better. So that's what I'm using. But it's a beautiful day again. It looks like that's all going to change day after tomorrow. They're calling for like 90% chance of rain. And then the next week or so looks like quite a bit of rain, which we need it. We really do. And I've been very lucky. I've gotten a lot done over the last couple months because the weather's been so good. But one of the reasons I did not want to take this tree down is it's going to make a big hole here, and I'm going to need some good material to put back in it. So I did do some digging down at the lower wood yard. Once I get this thing down, cut up, out of the way, I dug some shale down there. We'll bring it up. Boy, that thing's leaning a little bit. Nah. But we'll bring a nice load of shale out here in the dump truck. We'll fill it back in, grade this all up. Then tomorrow morning, I've got a triaxle load of stone coming. Number 3 rock. We'll put all that down, roll everything. And then 2 days after that, they're coming for the pre-construction meeting for the building. And then about a week and a half, 2 weeks after that, they're coming to build it. So my work, as far as tree work and dirt work, is coming to an end for this season. I say that, but there's always something else to do. I'm trying to stay as tight to this tree as I can, because that means, you know, smaller root ball, but there's some roots that are like 8 inches thick coming off of this thing. We'll go a little bit farther here. Yeah, like if you had the 30-inch bucket on, it's just like more resistance. That's why like a ripper tooth works so good. It concentrates all that power to one little point. But the 18-inch bucket is way better than the 30. So if you have multiple buckets, definitely use the smallest one for stumps. See if we can't rip that root off of there. It's a tall, straight tree right here. There's a root right there. I had a fire going in the wood stove last night and this morning. I let her burn out though. It's hot in there now. It's gonna get up to about 60 today. Part about this one is I'm gonna have to take it down onto the pad, and I didn't want to do that. I got a little maple, couple little trees over there I need to take out as well while we're making a mess. I should have actually done those first, but just want to get this thing on the ground. And that's only half the battle. Then you got to clean everything up. I'll have a good 2 hours wrapped up in this one tree before it's all said and done. Try to show you something. I don't know if you'll see it on camera. My blade is off the ground about a ½ inch. There, I just took a little bit of weight off, lifted the machine up a little bit. Now what happens is when you dig with this thing, I'm on a root right there. And when you're really pulling, that thing's there. We got through it. Now what happened is my blade was already off the ground again. It's like a bypass or something. I don't like that. My Dash 4 did not do that. It's not the end of the world, but you get to where you're bouncing around, you're like, what's the problem? And it's because your blade keeps coming up when you're digging hard, like on roots and stuff. All right, we almost have 2 sides done here. And there's no sense skipping on it. You just got to keep digging. Because it's not going to go until you're all the way around it. All right. Getting a little warm in here, actually. You know what I'm going to do before I dig that third side? We're going to go over and take those 2 little ones down. Because I'd like to keep this tree off the pad if I can, because it's going to blow apart and make a mess. But I don't have many options besides that direction there. This one's going to go pretty easy. I can see it move a little bit. So before I dig that third side, so it doesn't fall on me or something, we'll go take those couple little ones down. right, like usual, came out here planning on taking one tree down. The big oak, little white oak, maple, this cherry. It was leaning over the pad, plus one more little one. So I got 5 down. But I'm able to get kind of a small brush pile back there, saving the firewood poles over there. Yeah, I got to run over to the house for a bit. When I come back up, I'll clean this up. Then I'll bring the skid loader out, start cleaning all this up, get rid of these stumps. I got a place for them. Then I need to haul at least 1 load of shale from back at the wood yard, because just this hole right here is going to take a lot. That's going to take like a whole dump truck load, but we'll figure this out. I am almost there. And by the way, I did something really dumb. You get in a hurry and you just want to get done. And this one tree over here, this dead one, I never should have done this, but I got away with it. This is a maple tree right here. Now this side over here had some hard lean going over that way, and it was still alive. There were leaves on it. It was pretty solid. So I sat over on this side and I pushed it off. It broke right off, okay? Then there was a big dead piece that went up. That's that one laying over there. That one wasn't too bad. I sat over here. I knocked it over that way. This one, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do the same thing. And these dead ones are so dangerous because you push on them with the excavator and it could break off right there, fall straight down, come back on you. It could do a lot of different things. It all worked out, but I shouldn't have done that. But I'm better with a machine than I am a chainsaw. And this is a real dangerous one, even if I would have cut it down. So maybe I did the right thing, but that was pretty sketch. But anyway, this is coming along really nice. This is going to be just beautiful out here when this is done. I can just see what everything's going to look like. It'll be a wood yard We could even rent it out as a wedding venue. That's a joke. So I've just been trying to get the topsoil off and the debris. I got a few holes, some dips here where the stumps were. Real big one right here in the morning. Before that load of stone gets here, I'm going to dress this up a little bit more. I'll run the roller down in it. I got some more dirt to come out of here. But yeah, we're going to have plenty of room now. You can pull right up here. You'll be able to park over here. Trailers. Plenty of room. But then once this is done, I'll put this load of shale in there. This is beautiful stuff right here. I got this down at the lower wood yard. I'm going to find me a place on the property where I can dig into a hillside and get an unlimited supply of that right there. Unlimited for me, with a little excavator, a skid loader, and a little dump truck. But that's a lot. I'm going to head back to the house right now. I would stay and finish this. But Ty and Thea, they both play fall ball. And their last game is tonight. So I'm going to go back, head down to the ball field. We'll check that out. And I'll come back out here tomorrow morning. Whoa, there goes a deer. First thing in the morning here. Wouldn't that be something? Hit a deer on the way out to the wood yard. We got a load of stone coming here in, about 15 minutes. I got to do a little work before that happens. I feel kind of bad. There's a deer right over there by those logs. There's 2 or 3 down here. Normally I don't come out for like another half hour. We have an agreement. There's 2 bucks standing right there. A little spike and a bigger one. Sorry about this morning. Actually, that's not a spike. It's like a little half rack. I'm literally 30 feet from him right now. I don't know if I want to get any closer. What are you doing? This little buck right here is completely ignoring me. right, things are coming along. Won't take much longer and I'll be done out here. I decided to take this little oak tree down. Kind of liked it, but you know, sometimes you need to let go of things you like. I just wanted to cut this corner off right here, because out there in front of the excavator, you know, that's going to be like a turnaround. The building sits over there. We got plenty of room now. Plenty of room. So we'll cut this corner off. I need to get rid of this stuff here. Over here is where that big oak tree was. I got some of that good shale in there. It's all compacted in here. What I have left, I'll put down on that low side. And I have this where it's going to drain down that edge right there and go over the hill. Had a pretty good morning so far. It's not even 9 o'clock. I think the hunt man's ready to run out for a little bit, so I'm going to go do that. And then I think Melissa has to leave for a bit. And then I'll come back out after lunch and we'll get this wrapped up. Rain tomorrow, it's not gonna hurt a thing. I'm super pleased with how tight everything is. You know, a good test of that is when a loaded triaxle comes out here and doesn't make a mark on anything. I had a guy comment the other day, said, I'm gonna have to do a lot more to that road before you bring any heavy loads in there. I'm like, that road, you could literally haul a super load across that road. It's not going anywhere. And like the pad, it's got literally like an inch and a half of stone on it. You know, they're gonna make a mess out here. I didn't get too carried away, just enough to keep them out of the mud. But the road, there's probably 5 inches of stone on it. And then you've got some really good shale. It's solid all the way out, whole way to the main road. All right, me and the hunt man just got back from Sheets. We're headed back out here to finish this up. I've been getting some notifications on my phone. There's probably more deer out here. I don't see any right now. You know, I took those trees down yesterday. They love that whenever there's some leaves to munch on. You don't see any right now. They're around though. So I'm finally done out there and ready for a building. They're going to be out the day after tomorrow for a pre-construction meeting. And I think the crew will be here in a couple weeks, so that's good. Rain coming tomorrow. I think I'll be working down at the sawmill, or maybe doing some firewood if that happens. But I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you on the next one.